Okay, here we go. Production. All right, Chelsea fans, welcome back to another video on the London is Blue YouTube channel. Look, today, I got to talk about the fact that Mendy is injured. He is out for a match against RB Salzburg in the Champions League, which means Kepa will play. And I want to talk a little bit, not only about the injuries to Mendy and N'Golo Kante, but the Kepa versus Mendy debate. It's going to be a hot one, so stay tuned. All right, so our friend of the pod, Adam Newson, putting out an article today on Football.London confirming that Chelsea has a huge injury blow ahead of the opening match in charge versus FC Salzburg. The only good thing for Graham Potter in this situation is it's a goalkeeper. 1-for-1. He doesn't have to change formation. He doesn't have to think about moving Ruben from right wing back to center mid. This is a 1-for-1 replacement. Like, Kepa is going to come in full stop. He played in the last match in the Champions League as well. Gave up the goal in the breakaway, but hey, save that for later. So it's not like a huge managerial issue for Graham Potter to figure out, oh no, what do I do without Mendy? Pretty straightforward. You put Kepa in, move on. But Adam did go on to elaborate a little bit. He said that Mendy's been struggling with this for a little bit now, which is interesting because the last injury we saw in a match with our own eyes was the Bowen, right? The Jared Bowen tackle, red card, VAR challenge, non-goal, the whole West Ham debacle where he got kicked in the ribs with studs. But then they came out and said he has patellar issues. So I don't really know what to make of this. Maybe it happened in the match. He was nursing it, and this just popped up and came to the forefront. But Mendy has been struggling to be fit for the Premier League clash against Fulham, which is supposed to be this past Saturday. Obviously, all matches were postponed with the death of the Queen over in England. And so we're going to have to figure out, like, was he going to be ready for this one? Couldn't pass fitness test, is not ready. The only good news is now we have actually like a huge break for him to recover, rest up, assuming he doesn't go to Senegal for international duty, which he very well could. Mendy's been undergoing treatment during the opening days of Potter's reign, probably hasn't been able to train much. Yeah. So the other big injury is well known. N'Golo Kante. He's out for weeks. Last time we saw him was the 2-2 draw against Tottenham, where he was electric. Obviously, as I put in another video, Chelsea's success is directly linked to N'Golo Kante's fitness, and right now his fitness is not there. Therefore, our success is not there as easily. I could say we can win without him. We've done it, but not as easy, that is for sure. So Graham Potter's going to have to figure out when he comes back, definitely after the international break at this point. I swear, if Laurent Blanc brings him in for the French national team, I'm going to probably fly over there, pick him up, and take him back to Cobham, because that is ridiculous. Laurent Blanc, chill, bro. You don't need Kante right now. He's injured. Let us take care of him so he has a chance to be ready for the World Cup. Like, that guy is just ridiculous when it comes to calling N'Golo Kante into the international team duty. So anyways, the good news is, Potter's had some extra time to work with the team ahead of the RB Salzburg match tomorrow. It'll be his first ever Champions League match. It's going to be a big one. We'll cover that more tomorrow. But just, in terms of, big night under the lights for Graham Potter, his debut at Chelsea is gonna be a big one, which at the end of the day, we're excited for him. So want him to be super successful. He's got to take on the Austrian team, who've had some issues themselves, I think, a little bit, but it'll be his unveiling in front of the Chelsea faithful. Like I said, under the lights at Stamford Bridge. I don't think they're playing the national anthem. I think they're kind of trying to figure it out, which is weird to me, but whatever. They're at least going to be playing the national anthem of UK. It's going to be a really, powerful atmosphere one way or another, either because the British people are going to be celebrating the late Queen, or because it's the Champions League back, and Chelsea fans know that we need all 3 points from this match after dropping all of the points to Dinamo Zagreb earlier in the campaign. All right, so then the next thing I want to talk about is I did a video for our Patreon that broke down Kepa versus Mendy. So after the West Ham game, a lot of people were like, drop Mendy. He needs to go to the bench. He's not imposing. He's not himself. He's playing at 70%. We want him at 100%. Changes need to be made. I get that. I hear you. and for those of you who don't know, I played goalkeeper growing up, Division III, so I'm not a professional, but I do some video analysis with professionals here in the United States and have friends that play in the MLS that are professionals. So I'm at least not like your average Joe when it comes to goalkeepers. I would like to think that I have a little bit more experience in that department, having played it, coached it, studied it, my entire life. A card-carrying member of the Goalkeepers Union, one might say. So a big conversation is between Kepa and Mendy. I'm going to put it in the description. I went through every single goal Chelsea had conceded through West Ham at that point. And I said, do I think this is Mendy's fault or not? Spoiler alert, 4 of the 6 goals we'd conceded up to that point were on set pieces. Technically 3, the 4th was a cross. Our set piece defending is horrific right now. The second thing I'd say is Mendy was 100% at fault for the Leeds goal where he gets the ball stuck under his feet. I also understand why it happened, because Tuchel wanted to play out of the back and no one showed short to him. Mendy's fault. Maybe you can blame him, or probably give him more than 50% blame for the Leicester City goal that they got beat near post. I get it. The rest of them, no shot. People are overreacting. Is he not as big of a presence and maybe not as confident making the same types of saves? Sure. But for everyone going in there and being like, Kepa, 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 oh, how quickly our minds have erased the memories of Kepa Arrizabalaga. So if you want to see the full video breakdown of every single goal, well, I play it, I talk about it, I stop it, we analyze it and keep going. It's like a 20-minute video, 25-minute video where I break it all down. Sign up for our Patreon. It's the first post at the top. I think you'll really like it. Again, it'll cost you $3 for 1 month. Plus you get into our Discord where we have a ton of Chelsea fans. So if you want someone to talk to tomorrow during the Champions League match, our Discord is popping. We have a bunch of amazing people in there. They're all passionate, and yeah, it's better than Twitter. So link in the description. What I'm going to do today is kind of give you some of the high level talking points about that and just kind of remind everybody where we came from. So again, Kepa was brought in as an emergency backfill for Thibaut Courtois after he told Chelsea he wanted to leave and then did leave. We panic bought a $70+ million goalkeeper, right, from Athletic Bilbao. World record still has not been broken. He came in because he's a high possession goalkeeper. He was super athletic, but he was bad at shot stopping, especially from distance because of his height. That was all well known, all discussed. But Maurizio Sarri wanted to play an extreme level of possession style football. So we got Jorginho and we got Kepa, like 2 very, very Maurizio Sarri signings. And his first season did pretty well, right? In the Premier League, played 36 matches. He conceded 39 goals. He made 79 saves with a 68% save percentage. It was okay, right? But hey, first year in the Premier League. Immediately in his second season, Lampard comes in. He only had 1 season with Maurizio Sarri. Can you imagine buying a world record goalkeeper as Chelsea Football Club and then within 12 months sacking that manager and completely ripping up the style and moving on? Crazy. Like, he was crazy. So under Frank Lampard, this is where it really fell apart for the guy. Feel a bit bad. He played in 33 matches. He had 47 goals against. He only had 55 saves, right? So that's almost every other shot on goal goes in. He had a 54.5% save percentage. That dropped 14 points from the previous season. You could say that has down to the manager, things like that. I think a lot of us were pretty upset with how it was going under Kepa. You want presence, you want big body, that's not him. So then the next season, Mendy came in. They bought him late in the transfer window. I think the season already started. Frank Lampard, Petr Cech, Christophe Lalachon, all pushing for Edouard Mendy. He came in. Kepa then only played 8 matches in Frank's second season before Tuchel came in. He conceded 8 goals in 7 appearances. He made 15 saves, and he's back up to a 68% save percentage. And then fast forward to this last season, Tuchel's first full year with the team. He had a month where he was great. Mendy was at AFCON, African Cup of Nations. He played 4 matches. He conceded 2 goals, made 13 saves. Made 11 saves, So 11 of his 13 shots he saved, only conceded 2 goals with an 84.6% save percentage. Those are great numbers, but it was 4 matches. That's the problem, right? And this is just Premier League, right? I know he played in cup competitions and in penalty shootouts and things like that, but by the end of the season, Tuchel was no longer playing Kepa. You can say Tuchel was wrong, that's fine, we can have that discussion. But at the end of the day, when it got to the FA Cup finals and semifinals, he started playing Mendy. Kepa lost his cup goalkeeper spot for whatever reason. So then you kind of look at Mendy, right? And what he has to offer. So his first season in the Premier League, he played 31 times. He conceded 25 goals, made 55 saves with a 70.5% save percentage. That's already better than Kepa's best season at 68% and change. And that was under Frank, right? So then last season under Tuchel, he played 34 matches in the Premier League, conceded 31, made 70 saves. He was actually up to a 73.7% save percentage. So he actually went up last year compared to Frank's first year. Now, granted, he had the Champions League run, right? Amazing run in the Champions League. You could not beat him. The defense was defending with 5. Our midfielders are defending effectively. Last season, that fell apart. But don't forget, he still had a good season. So far, this season, he's played 6 matches. He's got 9 goals conceded, 18 saves. He's still at a 66.7% save percentage. He's not bleeding goals. Is he doing worse than what we've seen? Yeah. But the team is doing worse. For everyone to oversimplify the problem to be the goalkeeper is a bit lazy, in my opinion. It's the easiest thing to say. Oh, we're conceding goals. It's the goalkeeper's fault. Nah, is it? Go watch that Patreon video. I break down every single goal, right? What is Reece James doing heading the ball back, right? What is our midfield doing multiple times where there's a gap from defense, attackers, midfielders. Midfielders are always late to the party defending. And then lastly, our set piece defending. Our zonal marking is a disaster. Go back and watch the Tottenham match. Harry Kane is unmarked inside the 6. There's actually 3 Tottenham players attacking that ball near post inside the 6. No Chelsea players around. It is a disaster. Go back to Southampton when Aspie cleared a ball on the ground off a corner to the top of the box for Latvia to just bend one in with nobody around him. There are massive issues with the defensive structure, and hopefully Graham Potter can fix it. But for everyone to oversimplify and be like, Mendy's the problem, you're crazy. The last thing I want to say, Mendy, my man, the 2021 Footballer of the Year for the entire country of Senegal. That's not bad since Sadio Mane plays for Senegal. You know what else he's won? He's won the Champions League with Chelsea. He's won the Club World Cup. He's won the African Cup of Nations. And he's won the UEFA Super Cup. Mendy has won so many trophies in a short period of time at Chelsea. And I don't mean to just bash on Kepa because of that, right? Very obviously, Kepa hasn't had the opportunity to play in those games, but he still had chances to prove himself. And after spending an egregious amount of money on a goalkeeper, I just think we can say that, right? Alisson went the same season for 55 million. We got hosed. He won the Europa League with us, right? Hero through that run under Maurizio Sarri, great. But other than that, it's not kicked on. And I know that we signed him on a 7-year deal and he's on big wages, but the other thing you should think about, why is no one really knocking on the door for him? Napoli was looking at Keylor Navas, old, washed up PSG goalkeeper, or Kepa. Just think about that a little bit. Don't forget how it's been. Does that mean Kepa can't have a resurgence and kick on? Of course he can. But show me where that is. We're going to find out. He played against Dinamo Zagreb. He didn't really have anything to do. The one thing he didn't do well, which is a breakaway. So I have some forgiveness for him. But hey, he's going to come into RB Salzburg. He's going to have to play again. And we want to see something. I didn't see anything that made me think oh yeah, Kepa's got this in the Dinamo Zagreb match. This is his chance to show what he's got. And has he been training hard? Has he been progressing as a goalkeeper? We'll have to find out. I understand there's the psychological argument where everyone goes, bench Mendy because he needs a break mentally, or to tell him this isn't good enough. Guess what? He's injured, so he can't play. So Graham Potter now has some time to figure out how he's going to manage them, and he's going to have some real data to assess how good is Kepa in game situations, because he's playing real, meaningful minutes right now while Mendy's sideline. And the second Mendy gets back to 80% fitness or whatever that threshold is, Graham's going to make the decision, hey, have I seen enough from Kepa to keep him going, or am I going to put Mendy back, who's a proven winner, who's 6'4", 6'5", massive frame, and can control a box, can make saves? We'll find out. And hopefully sooner than later, because, for Mendy's part, I just hope that he's not out too long with an injury. You don't want any of our players to be injured. Same thing with N'Golo Kante. But I'm going to plug it again. Go watch my Kepa versus Mendy video on Patreon. Every single goal we've conceded, it's me in the corner with the Premier League footage playing behind, and we pause and we break everything down. You might be a little bit fascinated. You might get to learn. And maybe you just say, I'm dumb and I don't know what I'm talking about. And that's fair too. But I have a feeling that you might agree with me a little bit more after watching that video. So again, let me know in the comments, Kepa versus Mendy when both are fit. How do you think Chelsea should be handling this situation? And hopefully Graham Potter can work with the fitness coaches and the medical team to make sure that we prevent some of these soft tissue injuries moving forward and we can keep all of our players healthy. So anyways, that's going to wrap us up. We have a podcast and video coming from Adam Newson later today talking about transfers, pre-Champions League, all this stuff that's going on. Graham Potter era has begun. Make sure you check out our podcast. Follow us on social media, fun TikToks and Instagram reels and things like that. But at a minimum, we're going to be covering every single part of the match on Twitter and in Discord. So check it out. We have a huge Chelsea community. We would love for you to be a part of it. So until next time, Chelsea fans, take care. We out.